The White House legal battles continue as the Trump administration is now appealing a California judge ruling against ICE immigration tactics used during raids.
It comes as we're learning more about the hundreds of illegals that were arrested during a marijuana farm raid in the state last week.
I'm Mayor Basshole. I hate America. I love illegals. I will now give them money. I take it from Whitey and give to them.
Good evening, America. Unless you're watching from California, then maybe not so good. Just kidding. Sort of, it's your favorite president, some say the best ever. And tonight, I've got a few things to say. So grab your popcorn, turn off the fake news, and let's talk about what's really going on. It's going to be good, really good.
The Trump administration is pushing back on an L.A. federal judge's ruling regarding immigration enforcement operations here in Southern California.
Homeland Security Secretary Kristi Noem was on Meet the Press. Kristen Welker asked her about Friday's ruling and on the tactics federal agents are using. Here is her response to that. And she also talked about the recent raid that took place in farms in Camarillo and Carpinteria.
What we have always done is built a case and done investigative work in who we go after and who we target. And so this judge is ridiculous in the fact that he put forward a decision like this. We will appeal it and we will win it because over and over again, when our ICE officers are out there getting the worst of the worst off of our streets, they're using the investigative backgrounds and information that they have from either criminal records or what they have for charges or individuals who are breaking our federal laws that need to be brought to justice. If you look at that marijuana grow facility that we recently just did an operation on, over 319 individuals were brought into custody and 14 unaccompanied children that means that they don't have their parents with them. They're working in a facility where they could be exploited, trafficked, maybe sex trafficked, and then we've got individuals there who are working at the same facility who are creating, distributing, and taking advantage of children for child pornography.
The administration is pushing back pretty hard, first of all, against this federal judge in California with the Homeland Security, with the Secretary of Homeland Security calling that ruling ridiculous. The judge granted temporary restraining orders last week in California, banning agents from targeting people based on race, their language, or their workplaces.
But we got to prioritize the current limited resources on the worst first, and that's what we're doing. New York City, Los Angeles, Chicago, they all have crime problems. They all have large illegal alien criminals. So we got to send the resources there to deal with that first. As resources come on, we'll spread out. The 1,000 teams become 2,000 teams. You know, the current 58,000 beds become 100,000 beds. So they're going to see a lot more activity in the very near future.
How many people is the administration on pace to deport this year? And is it that meeting expectations, either your own or the White House's?
My expectation is they remove everybody they find as quick as possible and find and arrest as many as possible.
But like, what's the target? Do you have a target metric in mind?
I don't have a target. I mean, Steve Miller has spoken about 3,000 months, which I think is not impossible to do. I think it's a fair number. I think the number can be higher. People need to understand. I read all these media outlets. Well, 3,000 a day is ridiculous. That's so inhumane and so racist. You got to understand. If you did the math, we'd have to arrest over 7,000 a day for the rest of this administration, just to remove those that Biden let in.
And we are learning more from the administration about some of the more than 300 immigrants that were arrested at that California cannabis farm last week. One, we're told, had been convicted of kidnapping, attempted rape, and attempted child molestation, and he was actually deported back in 2006. Another convicted of rape and DUI, and the list goes on with other DUI and burglary convictions. The Secretary of Homeland Security, Kristi Noem, says illegal immigrants need to self-deport.
What I would encourage everybody is that if they're concerned about being in this country illegally, go home. Go home. I have traveled to 10 different countries and worked with their governments from these countries where they come from and said, when they come home, would you start programs for them to be welcomed back to their own country? Many of them are setting up programs so that when their people come home, they can get a loan for a house.
They care about the kids in Texas, and they should, but they don't care about the kids who are found on this place. I mean, they find 14 kids who are 14 children who are potentially in forced labor. They don't have anything about their IDs.
And trafficking and exploitation.
And 9 of them were unaccompanied minors. So we've been reporting for years about what's going on at the border and that the kids are missing. Well, hell, maybe the kids aren't missing. Maybe they're all across the country working at different locations.
Look at that video right there. The president said he watched in disbelief as thugs were violently throwing rocks and bricks at ICE officers while they were moving down the roadway in their car or their official vehicles. Tremendous damage was done to these brand new vehicles. I know for a fact that these officers are having a hard time with allowing this to happen and that it shows such total disrespect for law and order.
I mean, this is the same people that brought you to fund the police and then denied they wanted to fund the police. Now they look at ICE as the mega. That's law enforcement. As Senator Fetterman said, it is absolutely farcical to say to fund ICE, and that's what you're doing. Among the migrants, they found this an illegal alien from Mexico convicted of kidnapping. Yeah. An illegal alien from Mexico was convicted of rape and DUI. Another one, DUI, hit and run property damage. Another illegal convicted 3 times for burglary and a DUI.
And Brian, the co-founder of this farm, the Glass House Farms, is now under investigation for child labor violation. The co-founder, the president, donated $10,000 to California's Governor Gavin Newsom's 2018 campaign.
What?
Kristi Noem said 14 children were rescued from forced labor, exploitation, and trafficking. So, Democrats, don't you care about those kids that were forced to work at a young age on a marijuana farm?
This guy's shooting at the cops. Apparently, there was over 500 of the people that were out there that were essentially, I don't know if you want to call them vigilantes or whatever, rioters that were there, that were going out the cops. I am so worried about this. This is going to, when you start shooting weapons at cops, it's only a matter of time before this gets out of control.
Meanwhile, we finally have some good news. I'm sure you've been witnessing what has been going on here. The random snatching of people off our streets by so-called ICE agents. A lot of times we really don't know who these masked men are because they don't have any ID. They jump out of plain cars with no license plates, tinted windows. They pull guns and they pull people aside and in many cases detain them. We don't know where they've been taken. They have no access to their families, no access to legal counsel. But today we got a great decision from the court, a temporary restraining order. So this has got to stop. They have to follow the Constitution. They have to have a warrant. They have to go about arrest or detention in a proper manner. And if people are detained, we need to know where they're going. They will have access to their lawyers. They will have access to their families. This is an assault on our democracy, and we needed to stop it. But I think today showed that if we band together and if we fight back peacefully, if we use the means that our democracy provides, and in this instance, the courts, we got a proper decision. Now we all have to hang tough and make sure that this decision stands. But I'm telling you, America, because what started in Los Angeles could be in your city next. So if that's the case, join together, stay united, defend our democracy, defend our Constitution. This is absolutely unacceptable, and we will not stand for it.
The people that are shooting at the cops, throwing the bricks, they should stop the cars immediately and arrest them all.
This is how backwards the mindset is in California. They are so used to being able just to run through the border, hire whoever they wanted, give illegals college educations and free health care. They can't believe that there's actually an administration and there's a group of people that want to crack down on illegal criminals. And how about the mayor is giving cash assistance to families whose membership claim could not work because they're afraid to go to work because they could be arrested? Why would that be?
And look, these are our ICE agents. These are our law enforcement officers that risk their lives to do this. And they're pelted with rocks and bricks as they're trying to leave. Tomhoman was speaking on Saturday night down in Tampa, Florida, at the Turning Point USA Student Action Summit. And a heckler asked him if he was an MS-13 member.
What?
This is what Tomhoman said to defend our ICE workers.
Wait 3 or 5 years. Pardon me?
Are you an MS-13 member? It says something.
Hey, that's okay. That's okay. I got a question. No. I got a question for you. Why don't you come up here and hand me that picture? Bring it. USA. You got morons like this all over the country. This guy wouldn't like the surface nation. This guy ain't got the balls to be an ICE officer. He hasn't got the balls to be a Border Patrol agent. This guy lives in his mother's basement. The only thing that surprises me, you don't have purple hair and a nose ring. Get out of here, you loser.
He then later said,
Here, look. You got a point right here. It is. Boom. Bam. Bop. Bada bop. Boom. Pow.
But also, what is he talking about? Like
the heckler?
Yeah, MS-13, tomhoman. He's arrested hundreds of them on the street every single day. That's what this entire operation is about. This is why there's a bounty against tomhoman from the gangs that are overseas that are also operating here in the United States. This is why tomhoman has to have Secret Service protection. The first border czar ever to have that. So I just don't get the whole accusation. Are you a part of MS-13?
And he had a big picture of tomhoman's face that he was holding up. That's what he said. Come up here on the stage and give me that picture.
Again, judges are getting involved. Out in California, they have a rule that that ICE is picking up people because of the way they look and their accents. A judge, bizarrely, I didn't read the arguments, but I don't know anybody. I don't think our DOJ would say, yeah, we're just looking for people with accents. He says, no, I'm talking about distinguishing characteristics like tattoos and things to that nature. So they've appealed that decision. But right now, ICE is now limited in their operations due to another
here
judge.
Again, you got these federal judges. The Supreme Court has already actually checked all these local judges and said, listen, you can't make sweeping rulings that affect the entire country. And yet again, you have an Obama-appointed judge that is Biden-appointed, I think, that is doing the same thing all over again.
Well, you know what I think about when this judge says Donald Trump has to halt this temporarily in California, in that area of LA and a few other counties, brought on by the ACLU. I think about, what if they get a tip that there are children working at another plant? This was the second largest state facility that has been busted under Donald Trump. The first one was in his first administration. Remember that chicken plant in Mississippi? Right. There were 700 illegals arrested. They probably got a tip about this marijuana farm. They went there to arrest the people that are here illegally, especially those criminals, and to rescue the children who are working on these farms. But I guess now they can't do that? Trump is appealing it.
They're appealing it today. But don't you think someone tipped him off?
100%.
Yeah.
Of course.
When it's time to go, you can choose how. You can wait for enforcement, or you can leave on your terms. The CBP Home app lets you self-deport with dignity, directly, and securely. Don't wait. Decide how it ends.
We didn't need the National Guard. Why on earth? What are they going to do?
Flashback.
Now to Bill Malugin. He has a Fox News exclusive on the tragic consequences of an unsecured border. Hi, Bill. Been waiting to talk to you all morning.
Yeah, Dana, good morning to you. This illegal alien had a lengthy rap sheet here in California long before he ever killed these two California teenagers. He's got several felony convictions on his record, several convictions for driving without a license, but he was still out and about on California's roads. And this young American couple ended up paying the price for that. And now their killer is getting an early release. It was November 2021, a fiery collision on an Orange County freeway. A young couple dead, and the driver who crashed into them, a twice-deported illegal alien from Mexico with multiple felonies, in custody for being drunk, high, and speeding at nearly 100 miles per hour.
I get a knock on the door, and there's two police officers.
The pain written all over the face of Pavel Osokin, as he recalls being told his son Nikolai and his 19-year-old girlfriend Anya Varfolomeev, friends since they were kids, were gone.
They told me there was a horrible incident. My son and his girlfriend, Anya, basically were burned alive in their car. She was my daughter.
Anya's father, Anatoly, got a similar knock on the door that night.
He said Anya's name. I said, yes, it's my daughter. My wife came downstairs and she was screaming and crying. She said, no, 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 no.
In spring of 2022, a jury convicted Oscar Eduardo Ortega Anguiano on 2 counts of gross vehicular manslaughter while intoxicated. A judge sentenced him to 10 years. But on Easter Sunday, the family say they received this notice from the California Department of Corrections that on July 19th, he'll be getting out.
2 years for killing 2 kids. It's confusing to me. Why you give them 10 if they're going to spend 5 and then 3?
Yeah, 2 young, productive American citizens killed for nothing. And that illegal immigrant who already has been deported twice is going to be released again?
In a statement, the Department of Corrections wouldn't confirm the release, but said in part, quote, incarcerated persons may earn credits for participating in rehabilitative programming, which may move their parole dates to an earlier date. Anya and Nikolai's families are now sending letters to the state, calling for Ortega Anguiano to serve his full sentence.
All those dreams were cut short just by one person who was not even supposed to be on that freeway. I will never forgive this guy. Never, ever.
I hope he's going to stay in prison. I hope he's going to get old in prison. And I hope he's going to get kicked out from our country in the end.
And Dana, ICE confirms to Fox News they have placed a detainer on this illegal alien with the California Department of Corrections. Their hope is that the state will transfer him to their custody upon his release from prison in July. As for the victims' families, they are now left wondering, what are 2 lives worth here in the state of California? They say, apparently, only a little more than 3 years.
I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up. I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up and make a statement. I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you
We didn't need the National Guard. Why on earth? What are they going to do? We didn't need the National Guard. Why on earth? What are they going to do?
But if you're not happy in the U.S., if you're complaining all the time, very simply, you can leave. You can leave right now. Come back if you want. Don't come back. It's okay too. But if you're not happy, you can leave.
Do you believe deploying the military to conduct law enforcement on U.S. soil is legal?
Look, we have to make certain that we protect American cities. If not for President Trump, Los Angeles would be burning right now. We had 6 ICE agents that were totally in fear of their life because local officials, an incompetent mayor, a grossly incompetent governor, refused to do their job.
Is there anything you would not find acceptable for the U.S. military to do on U.S. soil?
Look, President Trump understands what the Constitution is. He understands what the laws are. We have to protect our cities. We have to protect our ICE agents. We have to protect our federal buildings. And Gavin Newsom should maybe get off Twitter and start actually going down to L.A. and protecting his own citizens.
The courts have ruled on the guard. They will be back under my command.
A few moments later.
Okay, why is Trump back in control of the National Guard, you guys? What the hell is going on? First I lose my pool boy Roberto, and now this? I seriously need a mani-pedi right now. A bottle of wine, cherry ice cream, and a whole season of Will and Grace. Fuck this politics thingy.
What's actually happening is they're buying voters. That's really what's happening. It's like a giant voter fraud scam. They're importing voters. It's easy to understand if you look at basic incentives. The basic incentive here is the more illegals that the Democrats can bring in, the more likely they are to win. So that's what they're going to do. That's what they have been doing, and it worked in California. California's supermajority Dem. And look at all the companies that are leaving California.
Yeah.
I mean, In-N-Out just announced they're leaving.
Yep.
Their headquarters leaving California.
They're moving to Tennessee.
A fourth day of rallies and protests on the streets of Los Angeles.
It was a peaceful rally. What is going on right now is also peaceful.
Here we are expecting rallies later on.
When they show up, we gotta show up even stronger.
In Los Angeles, there is a new crowd of protesters that has been building.
CNN had it that these were rallies. Now they've become protests. I'm afraid that by tonight they become riots. If we don't have the ability to stand up and stop this violence before it consumes a great city like Los Angeles, then there's no telling where this could spread.
Are hardworking, good people, and they're the backbone of our city, and they should have access to all the things that we have access to. And I just don't think they understand that it's a political pawn. I don't think they understand.
It's a political game.
This is not done for compassion and kindness.
No.
This is just done to ensure that it stays blue.
Correct.
Yeah, and it's essentially a bribery with your tax dollars.
Yes, this is why the Dems will not even deport criminals.
Yeah.
Because every criminal deported is a lost vote.